welcome to the Spiritual Counseling TV network, and welcome to your weekly spiritual guidance for May 2nd to the 8th of 2022. My name is Christy Ramirez, and I'm your soul coach, and I can just tell you how excited and glad I am to be here. I love to show up for the series because it definitely sets the tone for the week, so definitely make it your habit to catch up on these videos as soon as they're uploaded. And make sure that you also watch the daily morning spiritual guidance, which are shorter videos but so necessary because it goes more into detail day by day. So let's talk a little bit about what this week's going to bring, how we can best cope with whatever gets thrown our way, because I do feel like there's challenges that are going to be needed to overcome by ourselves. And these are just minor challenges as well as larger challenges. But I feel like in this week specifically, we're only dealing with the minor stuff, not the big challenges. So this is almost like a relief, right? Because usually big challenges are like life transitions, and I feel like we are definitely going through a major life transition. But other than that, that's the only major challenge that we are dealing with this week. And the reason why that's not like the center focus is because this life transition of moving life transitions, you can say, has already been going on for several weeks. So it's almost like we're already coping with that. But now it's extra little details that are just being thrown just to perfect closing out this life transition cycle, right? And I feel that once we just learn to just listen almost to whatever is happening, whatever changes in the midst of it, like it could be as simple, because it's a very difficult concept to explain, but it's as simple as like maybe you're doing something regular, like making your cup of coffee, and you have a certain way of making your cup of coffee, right? But then little things change in how you make that coffee. Maybe there wasn't the sugar that you needed, or maybe it took longer because you had to go and get the milk, like you had to restock on milk. Like little things like that is what I'm trying to say. Now I hope that you can apply that to something different and maybe more significant than just making a cup of coffee. But I do feel that it's getting us just very specific as that, and simple as that as well, that's the thing, is like it's sometimes those little simple things that disturb our peace, right? And I know that many of you have been there. It's usually the little things that can disturb the peace, which is what creates moodiness in people, right? And then it's sometimes just like the larger things that don't, ironically, because if you're a person of great faith, then you know that those big challenges, or maybe just even big losses that you experience in life, which can be very tragic, I feel like the more tragic something is, it's sometimes like as if we give that all to God and we have more faith in that that's the way it's meant to be. But then ironically, when it's so simple as like something just not going your way, you can say, then we get out of sorts, and it frustrates us even more than something big would. And that's almost sounds silly, right? But believe me that humanity deals with that a lot. You know, I'm a psychologist and I've dealt with a lot of clients, and believe me too that actually can create a little bit of unstable mental health issues if not knowing how to see it the right way, right? Which is why I'm talking about it here today, because, you know, even myself, I can get a little out of sorts because of little things, but at the end of the day, deep down, I know that sometimes it's just because God is trying to speak to you, or maybe there's a better way, or maybe just something that day needed to be different. Like there's always a blessing in seeing the positive in all things, right? And that's a very optimistic person. That's what I definitely want to instill in all of you out there, because I know that a lot of people actually struggle with this, being positive, or some people are actually naturally just very pessimistic people, and they just get out of sorts and in a bad mood when things don't go their way, even though they know that things are not supposed to ever go their way, but they let it get to them, right? Or it can be as simple as other people triggering them, and they let it get the best of them. And that's not healthy, right? Because even though, you know, that person can pretend that it's not getting or affecting the quality of their life, maybe outside of that situation, maybe they do take it home, and now it's all subconscious that they don't really know that it's really affecting them deep down. And that's not a high quality way to live, right? You know, I'm a huge person of peace, and whenever I feel that something is out of alignment in my peace or the way that I'm viewing things. I know it's because of my mindset and my attitude towards whatever it is that is happening. I'm going to take a sip of water. 1 second. So refreshing after drinking water all day. So this is almost empty, but yeah, maybe again, that's where health and wellness comes in as well. Making sure that your mood, which is your well-being, is not affected by something that is health related, right? Or maybe in your lifestyle habits. And that's definitely where my health and wellness brand comes in, Body, Mind, and Spirit, which is a project that I'm really dedicating a lot of my time to. And I will continue to bring in more exclusive content in my programs, in my series, as well as free content on my YouTube channel and also on my Instagram page. So definitely make sure that you follow that social media page, which is @ChristopherRamirez_Body, Mind, Spirit. But that's definitely what I'm feeling for this week. It's a little challenge about shifting our mindset. And we are stepping into this new cycle. I did do a spirituality retreat this weekend. It was my birthday this weekend as well. So there was a lot of positive celebrations happening. And we did have a solar eclipse with that spirituality retreat and new moon in Taurus. So I do feel like all of this, has brought changes for our soul journey as well. And then how we are going to continue to evolve, ascend, and not be dragged down by anything that is just not worth it. How do we get back on track this week? How do we refocus and also recommit to our spiritual mission? That's very strongly needed, because I feel like if any of you have been thrown off track because of responsibilities or because of just life's transitions, like maybe some of you are moving, some of you are maybe renovating, which is almost like moving, right? Maybe some of you are getting married or having children or graduating from school. These are all major life transitions. Maybe some people of you dealt with losses in your family. That's also a transition, because that's something that you have to cope with and then need to work your way around a new way of living without that family member, right? And being able to cope with it in a healthy manner. So I feel like everybody in one way or another has been dealing with major life transitions. And I feel like at this point, because this has been already going on for 1 to 2 months, and maybe even longer for some of you, up to like a year maybe, I feel that now it's almost like getting the best of us. Like we're almost like getting tired, and yet we're almost about to reach the finish line. That's what I'm feeling. It's like that last minute sprint to the finish line is like we're wanting to give up because we have no more energy to drive from, and I feel like it's just like, how can we keep going on the mission, even going with life per se? It feels difficult. But then once we get out at the light at the end of the tunnel, we look back in retrospect and we see, wow, it wasn't that hard, or it wasn't that bad as I thought. Maybe I could have even shifted my mindset during that moment. And maybe it could have gone better. It could have been a better experience. But remember that no experience could have been better or worse, because every experience is the way it should be as well, for a higher divine reason. To either teach us something to make us stronger, or to just go within. Sometimes we need to seek answers from within. And sometimes that does require just us being with ourselves. Maybe just going off in your own corner, going into hermit, doing your thing, living your life, letting be, right? Be yourself and be okay with that. And I feel like this is where the acceptance comes in this week. Allow yourself to just be you. Do what you want to do, what your heart is pulling you to do, what feels good. And then that's what's going to heal you. That's what's going to put you in alignment. Because I feel like there has been a little bit of misalignment. Maybe at like a deep, deep level that is even unseen to the naked eye. Like you can't even really pinpoint what it's been, like either emotional or mentally. I feel like it's been deeply spiritual. And I feel like there's been, childhood memories coming up. And maybe some traumas from the past that, again, are resurfacing just to kind of like clear up any hidden subconscious feelings that are affecting our present happiness, our present joy, because that is again what we are striving for. That is our goal, is to be happy in the now, no matter what we don't have, right? Because we have already a lot of blessings to be grateful for. And that's the number one thing that's going to keep us in alignment, and that is gratitude. So make sure that you all have a gratitude journal to stick with and write with on a daily basis, and continuously remind yourself to be grateful about life, about every experience, every single day, the people in your life. And remember to cherish every single moment, and of course the people that love you, because that again is the important thing in life, right? That is what's of value. And that's what we're also reflecting on, you know, what really is of value in our life, right? What holds deep, true value? And there's different things that can hold value, but there's different kind of values, right? There's value when it comes to someone that you love, a relationship, which is something that's priceless, right? Having people that support you unconditionally around you is absolutely priceless. Money can never buy that, right? Money can buy other things that are valuable, right? There are very much a lot of things that money can buy, right? Like, for example, it can buy you a sacred place to do your sacred work, all the sacred tools that you need to do that sacred mission, sacred, you know, altars to do your prayers, to do your rituals, to do your meditation. Those are sacred ways of using money. And again, money is not a bad thing, because I feel like that is also coming up this week. Our realization that, you know, having money is a good thing, and it is a blessing from God, and it is a luxury, and it's the way that we use money that counts, right? Because if we're using it for the mission, if we're using it to better ourselves spiritually, then that's money used in the correct way. So don't be ashamed or guilty of either wanting money or having money, because the people who have money, who have earned it the correct way, is because God has blessed you with that money for a reason, to use it for good, right? And think about it, you know, the ancient royals were absolutely rich, but they were divine royalty. They were royally chosen by God himself through blood, right? And if we think about this at a metaphoric level, all of us sitting in a divine throne in a royal position are bloodline of Christ, the chosen one, and even maybe descendants from God's chosen ones as well, right? And again, also just spiritually per se, it doesn't have to be literally blood related, like a bloodline, but it's who's been chosen and who's chosen to receive that mission and accept that mission. That's when we become blood related to God. And we're all blood related to God, but that's when we are the divine royal bloodline, when we choose to receive the mission despite the hard work, despite the sacrifices, despite any blockages, despite any temptations, despite any distractions, despite anything wanting to take you off track. You're still going to show up and you're going to prevail. And that's how we conquer fears. That's how we conquer darkness, is by staying in the light and then being the light in the darkness as well. And that's what I feel this week is about. Very intense. And of course, I'm going to be going deeper later today on my Instagram page for a weekly extended spiritual guidance live stream that you don't want to miss out. So make sure that you follow that Instagram page at Ramirez_soul coaching. And also check out your dating winning spiritual guidance. Make sure that you also sign up to my free mailing list on my website, ChristyRamirez.com. And if you all want to book a personal soul coaching session to get more individualized spiritual guidance any time of the week, you can book your session at ChristyRamirez.com/booking. Thank you all for joining me, and have an amazing and beautiful week. Namaste.